Good morning. I'm Nate Pooterball with your sports update. Day 2 of the NFL draft is in the books, and it's another record-setting class for Ohio State. OSU became only the second school in history to have 7 players drafted in the first 2 rounds in back-to-back years. Last night, Caden McDonald was picked by the Texans, Max Clare is heading to Los Angeles, and Davison Igbinosun is going to the Bills. Will Kazmarek was selected in the 3rd round by the Dolphins. Day 3 coverage comes your way at noon on The Fan. The Reds walked off the Tigers last night when Nathaniel Lowe hit a 2-out, 2-run homer to give them the 9-8 win. They square off again tonight at 7:15 with Brady Singer taking on the Tigers' Jack Flaherty. Catch the action right here on The Fan. And Angel Martinez roughed up the Blue Jays with 2 home runs, leading the Guardians to an 8-6 win yesterday. They're back at it this afternoon at 3:07. And 41-year-old LeBron did LeBron things, leading the Lakers to a 112-108 overtime win over the Rockets. Breaking sports just when it happens on The Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
This is Tee to Green, Central Ohio's premier golf show. Now here's your host, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Southern Ohio PGA of America and Hall of Fame, the Fan's own Skip Mosic.
And hi again, everybody. Good morning. Welcome into another edition of Tee to Green here on The Fan. Decent weather today and tomorrow, so hopefully there are some golf plans in your future. Busy week as always in the golf world. Big news yesterday on a couple of fronts with Jim Furyk being named to captain the U.S. Ryder Cup team. And a reduction in force on the PGA Tour. What does that mean moving forward? We'll discuss that and more with Golf Channel contributor, longtime writer, and Hall of Famer Ron Sirak. A major on the women's side this week with the Chevron. We had a chance to check in Houston with former Buckeye and LPGA professional Jessica Porvasnik, who's been playing well. She made the cut on the number. We'll chat with Jessica later this hour. The PGA Club Professional Championship begins tomorrow out at Bandon Dunes. Central Ohio is well represented with a handful of local pros. We'll chat with our old friend Bob Sowards, who also played last weekend in the Senior PGA Championship. And speaking of the Senior PGA, that's where we'll begin this week. Talking a little Champions Tour and more. The U.S. Senior Open will be here in Columbus later this summer at Scioto Country Club. PGA professional David Toms, 13-time winner on the PGA Tour, won the Senior Open in 2018, joins us right now. And, David, thanks for your time. Nice playing at the Senior PGA. How was your week?
It was a solid week. I finished around 25th place and got beat up by Stuart Sink, but he's a good buddy, so I didn't mind him winning, and I played with him the first 2 days and saw what he was doing on that golf course. And so he just played a different course than I did, and par fives, I think that was someone said he was 16 under on the par five. So that'll get it done in a major championship for sure.
You mentioned his length off the tee. Is that just such a huge advantage for him right now, David?
Yeah, I mean, it's like he said before, I mean, he's been quoted as saying it's definitely a weapon for him, his driver. And on the hard, on the tight holes last week, he would just hit a hybrid off the tee down there about 280 and, hit the green and go on to the next hole, wait till he got to a birdie hole. So it was pretty impressive the way he played the golf course.
I love asking the Champions Tour guys about this, David, about the reset when you turn 50. Is that real?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, a lot of guys get excited about playing golf again and, maybe haven't played in 4 or 5, 8 years, whatever, and as far as competitive golf. But I was fortunate. I played the PGA Tour all the way through age 50, and so that was nice to be able to do that. So I really didn't get much of a break, so I had to, I would say, kind of pace myself since I've been out here. And, if not, you'll wear yourself down more mentally than physically. But I'm in a good spot. I got, kids are kind of out of the house now. My wife can travel when she decides she wants to do that. And so personally, I'm, in a good spot and look forward to playing each week.
Well, you mentioned wearing yourself out. Another major with the tradition coming up next week. How much do you still like to play as often as you do? And I guess how challenging is it to set your schedule so you don't wear yourself out?
Well, I mean, it kind of sounds kind of bad, but early, the Monday through Thursday is kind of, it feels a lot like work. But Friday through Sunday, when you're out there just playing and competing, it's still a lot of fun, and I enjoy that part of it. It's just the travel and the other commitments and things like that we've always done as professional golfers kind of take its toll on you. But still, I mean, like I said, the competition part of it, is the reason I still play. And, every week's a new week. You never know how you're going to do. If you play your best, you got a chance to win. And if not, you're kind of just going through the motions, but it's not a whole lot different than the PGA Tour days.
We're chatting with PGA professional David Toms this morning, Tee to Green here on The Fan. We mentioned another major next week with the Tradition, but a couple of months away from the U.S. Senior Open. We're all excited about having that here in Columbus at Scioto Country Club in July. Was curious if you've ever had a chance to play it around any of your appearances when you were maybe here for the Memorial Tournament, or maybe came down when you played up the road at Firestone.
I've never played Scioto. I know of it. I mean, because of Jack Nicklaus and everything and the history there. Columbus is a great golf town. I've played numerous Memorial tournaments. I've played U.S. Open qualifiers, played NCAAs there at Scarlet years ago. So obviously a great golf town. And I've played a lot of courses around there, but never have set foot on Scioto. So I look forward to that. I know it's been redone since the last time they played a U.S. Senior Open there. And so I look forward to the challenge. I mean, USGA events are always challenging physically, mentally, everything. You have to prepare well, and look forward to getting there early in the week and seeing how we can play that golf course.
You mentioned the USGA. We know how tough they generally like to set things up for their events. How was the setup by comparison when you won your Senior Open in Colorado a few years back?
It was firm and fast. It was perfect for me. Holes weren't too long. You had to really drive the ball in the fairway to have a chance. And then, we went back, I guess it was last year, to play there again, and it got a little bit softer, and I didn't play near as well as I did the first time when I won there. So I'm hoping that we'll have, conditions that are, playing to, everyone's hands. A firm and fast golf course brings everybody into it, and so I'm hoping that's what we get there at Scioto. But, Mother Nature, you never know, so you just go play and see what the week gives you.
13-time winner on the PGA Tour, David. One of those was the Sony. I have to ask you, just as a past champion in Honolulu, your thoughts on the tour, essentially eliminating the Hawaii swing in January.
Well, that was certainly a time that, as a tour player, we all look forward to. I mean, if you were fortunate to win a golf tournament, to be in Kapalua, that was a great start to the season. And but the Sony, I was kind of always partial to that. I enjoyed it. When my kids were real small. In fact, when I won there, my daughter was just a baby. But to be able to go there and swim with the dolphins at the Kahala Hilton right next door, and just do all the fun things that time of year when it was pretty cold and nasty back home. It was a lot of years that, a lot of memories there for us as tour players, and a lot of bonding with all the families and kids and everything. So it was a long trip, but it was always worth it. And, I hate to see that go away, as someone who used to, was fortunate enough to do that every year. So that's going to be a tough loss. But for us as Champions Tour players, there's a rumor out there that we might get to play there at the venue for the Sony Open. And so that would be pretty neat for us. And then our best event all year is obviously at Hualalai. And so it's we're a lot like NASCAR in the fact that, the best race is the first one. And it's a lot like that for us out here on the Champions Tour.
And David, you're a Louisiana guy. I'm sure this week's tour stop in New Orleans was always one of your favorites. What did it mean to you the year that you won it?
Well, it was first of all, the field and the guy. I was trying to beat Mickelson when he was playing great golf. I was paired with Ernie Els the last day, and to be able to play great playing with Ernie, and to beat Phil, who was the group behind me, and to win and have all the fans yelling, "Go Tigers" and everything. It was, something. Even Ernie said something about it recently. We were talking somehow about New Orleans, and he said, "Yeah, I still remember that day." So, if it made an impression on a guy like that, certainly it made an impression on me, and it was a golf memory that I'll never forget.
You mentioned Go Tigers. You played collegiately at LSU. We know a lot of guys on tour, especially the SEC guys, like to banter about college football. How much are you into that?
I'm very into it. I mean, I've got 8 season tickets. My daughter's there. She's a junior there now, so I get down as much as possible. went to football practice the other day in Tiger Stadium at a scrimmage, so that was fun. I got to do that, and so I follow it very closely. I'm hoping this new regime change will score some points for us. We got until we were kind of in a funk and not scoring any points. So as a fan, that's never any fun. I don't mind losing 45-38, but when you lose 25-12, that's never a good thing. And so I'm hoping this will energize the program and the fan base and put us back to where we, kind of expect to be.
Do you like the Lane Kiffin hire?
I think so. He's got a little edge to him, and I think he fits perfect with the culture in Baton Rouge and the state of Louisiana. I think he understands now, what it's like down there and what the fan base is like, and I think he fits in great. And I can't think of anyone any better for us to try to turn things around offensively and get back on the map.
Is there any needling, I guess, between guys, when you're out on the range, you went to other schools, either SEC or elsewhere, or even when you're out playing?
Oh, it's constant in the fall. You're just hoping to wake up on Sunday morning and go to the range and be the one that has the bragging rights for the day. So, it's a real thing. It's always been that way throughout my whole career because, I've been a fan. And then a lot of these guys that I'm still playing against now, I played against in college, especially the SEC guys, we
Sure.
have those rivalries. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, obviously, we're in Big Ten country up here, David. We know LSU beat Ohio State in the BCS title game in 2007. But, I always tell people, of all the SEC schools, I've always had a little bit more respect for LSU. And the reason I say that is they were the only ones who, ever agreed to play a true home-and-home with Ohio State, back in the late 80s. Not too many SEC teams would do a home-and-home like that, back in the day.
Well, yeah. I think it's, it's something that we've always tried to do. Right. Even this year, we're playing Clemson at home. We had to play them last year at their place. So that first game has always been one that is it sets the tone for the season. You kind of figure out what you have pretty early. And I don't mind playing that. As a fan, you look forward to that game. It's hard to get up for the in-state schools, knowing that you should win those games. And just the unknown of what your team might be for the year. I've always enjoyed those big games early in the season.
2018 U.S. Senior Open champion David Toms. David, thank you for the time and for the visit, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of months up here in Columbus at Scioto, okay?
No problem. Anytime.
And obviously the current series with Texas was set before they joined the SEC. Always loved reaching out and talking some college football with those guys. Good dude in David Toms. All right, let's get you warmed up on what's happening this week on tours as we get you set with some chip shots.
97.1 The Fan's Tee to Green Chip Shots, presented by BMI Federal Credit Union.
PGA Tour in New Orleans this week. Team format at the Zurich 4-ball Thursday. Alternate shot yesterday. They'll do the same thing today and tomorrow. The team of Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer are in the lead at 1. They lead by 1 at -16. 58 in the best ball Thursday, followed by a 70 in alternate shot Friday. Smalley saying it was good to rely on his partner's strong putting in the alternate shot format.
I don't know if Hayden missed a putt over or inside of 10 feet all day, so that was huge. The wind picked up a little bit this afternoon, and it was just difficult to get close to the hole. The greens were kind of baked out a little bit. They were getting a little crispy in spots, so to have him hit as many putts as he could was kind of the key going throughout the day with how well he was stroking it. So, looking forward to best ball again tomorrow, and then we'll kind of go from there.
3 teams are a shot back at -15. Davis Thompson and Austin Eckroat, along with Billy Horschel and Tom Hoagie. And then there are the Fitzpatrick brothers, Matt and Alex. Matt, who's been playing great lately, a winner a week ago at Harbortown, says it's always nice to play well, including a hole out for Eagle on 18 Friday for a 65.
Yeah, I thought we played great today. We barely missed a shot, so made the putts when we needed to, made some good birdie looks, and just felt like we played really solid all round today. Still an eagle there at the last. I think he's probably going to be playing under par that hole today with the wind, and with the chip, you're looking to just nestle it down there for 2 or 3 feet, tap in for your birdie, and nice to steal one.
6 teams are 2 back at -14, including Eric Cole and Hank Laboda. Cole saying it was nice to ride the momentum from a 60 Thursday into their 70 on Friday.
Yeah, I think it does. I think, especially like in a team aspect, I think like the momentum or energy is definitely important and is part of it. And you can kind of feed off each other. And, when the other person's hitting good shots, you want to reward the shots they hit. And so that kind of just snowballs into hopefully more of those good things.
Former Buckeye Neil Shipley playing with Christo Lambrecht finish at -6 to miss the weekend. But again, all chasing your leaders, Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer at 16 under par. Elsewhere this week, the World Tour is in China. Adrian Otogai, -16, leads there by 1. PGA champions in Atlanta, Stableford scoring system this week. Zach Johnson at +15 points. He leads by 1. Former Buckeye Ryan Armour at +4. He is 11 back. Major on the ladies' side with the Chevron in Houston. Nelly Korda is rolling. A pair of 65s for Korda the first 2 days. She leads by 6. Former Buckeye Jessica Porvasnik +2 to make the weekend. We'll chat with Jessica later this hour. Korn Ferry Tour off this weekend. PGA Tour Americas in Argentina. Patrick Sheehan -9. He leads there by 1. College golf, the Women's Big Ten Championships are this weekend outside of L.A. Ohio State tied for second after the opening round. Ohio State trails USC by 5. Your leaderboards were brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at bmifcu.org. Coming up, some financial news from the PGA Tour yesterday, and will the second time be a charm for former Ryder Cup captain Jim Furyk? We'll talk about that and more with longtime golf writer Ron Sirak next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with the $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters, while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on, crushed, high, deep left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Aaron, I've invented something really important.
Great. Tell me what it is.
You know how water heaters never give the homeowner any sort of signal that they are about to quit working?
Jerry, did you invent a way to solve that problem?
I sure did. I call it the Eco First Responder System.
I like it. How does it work?
Well, when your hot water heater quits working and you have no hot water, just call Eco before 5 p.m. and we guarantee to install your new hot water heater that same day, even if you decide to go tankless.
Jerry, that's been our policy for a long time. What exactly did you invent?
I invented the name, Aaron. The name! The Eco First Responder System. I thought you said you liked it.
Sure, Jerry. It's a great name for a really strong guarantee.
When your water heater quits working, just call ECO before 5 p.m. and we guarantee to install your new hot water heater that same day, even if you decide to go tankless.
You're a great guy, Jerry. I'm really glad you work here.
Get ECO.
ECO.
GetEco.com.
Things to know about T-Bone and Tyvus. Bone hates the SEC. Tyvus refuses to drink dark liquids. And they're both big fans of public shaming. Oh, they also host a radio show together weekday mornings from 6 to 9. Listen to it. The Fan.
Grilling season is here, and nobody does it better than Billiards Plus. Fire up your backyard with top-of-the-line grills from the biggest names in outdoor cooking, perfect for game day or any day. And when the party heads inside, Billiards Plus has you covered with pool tables, shuffleboard, game tables, and more. Everything you need to build the ultimate hangout. From backyard cookouts to game room showdowns, make your home the MVP. Billiards Plus, grills, games, and good times. Family owned and operated. Check them out online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Rain will continue to move east throughout the rest of the day. Today we'll see gradual clearing and temperatures will be rather normal for this time of year with a high of 69. Tonight it turns breezy, gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. We drop down to 45 degrees and Sunday will be beautiful. Mostly sunny skies with a high near 70. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
This is Tee to Green with Skip Mosic on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
And welcome back, everybody. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. We have another great golf prize package to give away this morning. Details coming up. We have a round of golf to go play out at the Virtues. Balls from our friends at Titleist. Plenty of fan goodies we'll throw in there for you as well. Again, no Twitter or X contest anymore. We'll have details shortly, and maybe this prize package will be yours.
This is Backspin. Tee to Green. Backspin.
Joined for a few minutes now by longtime golf writer, now a contributor to Golf Channel, Ron Sirak, and lots to get into this week. Ron, let's start with LIV. I mean, so much discussions the last couple of weeks about the future of LIV Golf. If they lose the funding of the PIF of Saudi Arabia, can you think of any way they can survive, especially in the current model?
No, not in the current model. And it sounds like one of the things that they're thinking of doing is focusing more on the team aspect of it. And you know, they come out, sell those teams, the four-man teams that they have, and try to keep going that way. But boy, you know, if you got $1.5 billion a year coming in from the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, that's a hard number to make up for in any sort of way. Now, that said, a lot of the money that LIV spent, they don't need to spend anymore, which was to lure that first group of big names over there. But what looks like they're trending towards coming from here is really a bunch of second-tier players. You know, we hear that Rahm and DeChambeau are both putting out feelers to see how they can get back to the PGA Tour, and they start to lose. They start to lose them, and that's it. That's pretty much the big names that they have.
You know, on the heels of that, in regards to funding and business model, we had the PGA Tour announcement yesterday, a reduction in force, laying off 4% of its staff. They've hinted that was coming, but maybe in what ways has professional golf in general, you know, just bitten off a little more than it can chew financially?
Yeah, I think LIV Golf pushed the PGA Tour into a position that they're not entirely equipped to be in. Look, before LIV came along, the PGA Tour was a not-for-profit corporation, and now they've got a $1.5 billion in investors who are involved with them, and they've been spun off as a private profit corporation. Then what happens when you have investors? Investors want a return on investment. So they want to have the tour to be generating more profit. Where's that profit going to come from? Are they going to reduce prize money for players? No. So where's it going to come from? Reduced staff. So, they announced this week that they're laying off about 4% of their staff, and there's probably going to be more coming that way. We're talking about LIV reinventing itself, PGA Tour's reinventing itself, and there's a lot of what they're doing that I'm not really comfortable with. I want to see more full field tournaments. I like the cut. I like all those things that were the PGA Tour's identity, and they've given a lot of that away.
We're chatting with Ron Sirak this morning, Tee to Green here on The Fan. And, speaking of restructuring, the PGA Tour schedule for next year, Ron, won't be released until later, but was curious to get your thoughts on basically the 2 Hawaii stops being eliminated from the schedule and what we're hearing from Brian Rolap, just wanting to start the season a bit later.
Yeah, I understand wanting to start the season a bit later. Look, they now end the season a bit later. They don't want to go up against football. They'd probably like to start the season after the Super Bowl and end it before the NFL really gets going. What all this is going to do is going to be fewer events. It's going to give fewer opportunities for fewer players. A small group of players are going to have their signature events that they're going to get into, but there's not going to be as many opportunities for the new faces, the fresh faces coming along to get in there. Abandoning the Hawaii stops we'll see how that plays out. But, boy, it's hard to walk away from more than 50 years of tradition. And anytime you start abandoning tradition, you're abandoning your core audience. And like many sports right now, that PGA Tour is caught between wanting to reach a younger group of fans and while not abandoning their core audience. And they could be dangerously close to abandoning and alienating their core audience.
News in regards to the Ryder Cup on Friday, Ron. Jim Furyk will get another shot to captain the U.S. team next year in Ireland. I guess your thoughts when you heard the news. I mean, this event, the United States has not had much success, including Furyk as a captain in the past.
Yeah, well, first off, going back, the Bethpage captain was supposed to be Phil Mickelson.
Sure.
Well, he sort of gave that away when he joined LIV. That wasn't going to happen. And then this time around, it was supposed to be Tiger Woods, and then Tiger ran into troubles of his own, and that took him out of there. Furyk was the captain in Paris for that 2018, I believe that was, Ryder Cup. The United States got waxed in that. I do think bringing back experienced captains is a good idea. Europe did that with Luke Donald, and because the captain is better the second time around than he is the first time around, because they learn a whole lot from that. So I think doing that, Furyk's got a lot of experience in captaining, not just Ryder Cup, but President's Cup, and being an assistant captain. He's certainly got the respect of the players, and the fact that he's been there before will help. And when it comes right down to it, Europe manages to go into the Ryder Cup every year. No matter how many times they win the Ryder Cup, they go in there with that healthy chip on their shoulder that they think they're being underrated and looked down on, and then they go out and overperform all the time.
Not exactly Ryder Cup, but it certainly felt like Ryder Cup last week at the PGA Tour stop at Hilton Head. The USA chance at Matt Fitzpatrick at the end where he beat Scotty Scheffler in a playoff. I get it. Scheffler's one of, if not the biggest American fan favorite, but Fitzpatrick has not exactly donned the villain cap, has he?
No, and I thought Fitzpatrick handled it all very well. His immediate comments afterwards is, these people think they're tough. They better talk to those people who are at Bethpage. They gave us a harder time there. And Fitzpatrick just said, "Hey, look, it jacked me up. It got me motivated." But again, I do think this is part of that problem of the PGA Tour trying to embrace this younger fan base who are not. Who weren't brought up in the etiquette of the game. The first thing I was taught when my dad put a golf club in my hand is where to stand when somebody else was hitting and how to behave when somebody else was hitting and how you behaved on the golf course. And we're seeing a lot of unruly behavior. And, the tour is to blame for some of this. They encourage it in Phoenix, at that 16th hole.
Sure.
And there's always, I'll go back to what I said before, there's a lot of danger when you try to expand your audience.
Again, we're chatting with Ron Sirak this morning, tee to green here on The Fan. Let's switch over to the ladies' side. Major championship with the Chevron this weekend. We've spoken in the past about, the move from Mission Hills to Houston, but, now this year, a different venue in Houston from Carlton Woods to Memorial Park. I mean, it's the same venue the PGA Tour used a few weeks back. Do you like the decision? And I guess in any ways, does it make sense?
Well, I tell you, we talk about tradition and abandoning tradition. When the move was first announced, they were moving from Mission Hills. I mean, that was called the Dinah Shore when I first started covering it. When they announced that they were doing that and moving it to Houston, I thought that the trade-off was worth it because they were signing a 6-year deal with Chevron, major international corporation, and the LPGA doesn't get too many six-figure deals. And the buzz around that, the old Mission Hills tournament, had started to fade a little bit. But what was the identity of that major championship for the LPGA? It was the one that was played at the same venue every year. Right. In that sense, it was their Masters. It was their Mission Hills was their Augusta National, and now we've now had 3 golf courses in 5 years for it, and it's now it's lost that identity. Hopefully, they'll get a long run. Playing here, they already had a little bit of a controversy by the winner always jumped into Poppy's Pond, and they sort of had a pond at the Woodlands. They didn't have one here, so they built one, and then they had to declare it a temporary immovable obstruction. So if you hit a ball into the water next to the 18th green, you get a free drop. So it seems like they're still feeling their way to figure out how to sort this out.
The one thing about Memorial Park, Ron, it's a public golf courses. I know there's a few on both tours, but is there something to be said about pro tournaments that are held at public courses just so fans can relate, I guess, a little bit to play it?
Yeah, probably one of the most exciting tournaments I was ever at was the 2002 U.S. Open at Bethpage. And that was the first U.S. Open played on a truly, truly public golf course. Pinehurst and Pebble Beach are both really upscale, privately owned public golf courses. You have to pay off. But Bethpage was a state park, and the galleries there were amazing. You'd hear people yelling out in their distinctive New York accents to Mickelson, "Hey Phil, what do you think of our golf course?" And I did like that connection. So I do think it's fun when you have a course that's both good enough and open enough to the public, so that the casual player can feel that pride of the pros playing their golf course.
Last thing, Ron, speaking of public venues, the PGA Club Professional Championship begins tomorrow out at Bandon Dunes. The pictures have always just looked spectacular. From what we've heard, it would be an awesome venue for a major championship, but logistically, being able to get people in and out of there would just be too much. Yeah, it would be. The infrastructure-wise, it would be really, really difficult to have a major championship there. Bandon might be the purest golf experience in the United States. When you're out on the golf course, they built the clubhouse in a swale. When you're out on the golf course, you can't see another man-made structure. You just see dunes in the ocean out there. It's a pure golf course, and but it is. It's 4.5 hours from Portland. North Bend, Oregon airport is fogged in a lot. It's hard to get there. There's no way to get there without changing planes at least once, maybe twice, or changing planes and then driving a long ways. And there's not, there would not be the roads and the hotels and all that stuff you need to hold a major championship. But wow, what a golf experience it is. One of the best at what he does, longtime golf reporter Ron Sirak. You'll see him on Golf Channel. Ron, we always appreciate your time. Thanks for hopping on this morning, okay? Skip, always a pleasure, my friend. Talk to you down the road. Well, speaking of Bandon Dunes, we will head there next. The PGA Club Professional Championship begins there tomorrow. Central Ohio is well represented with a handful of local pros. We'll chat with our old friend Bob Sowards from Kinsale as he tries to play his way back into the PGA Championship. Bob joins us next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
As governor, Vivek will lock up human traffickers, protect our children, and deliver justice. Let's end this evil for good with Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah. Are your teens good with money?
She's a good kid.
She's the
but
best,
yeah.
but I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah. We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Colin Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Oh, Mikey, did you know something new is coming and it's right around the corner?
What is it?
Now you can stay while you play. It's the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel. It's coming June 12th, and we want you to celebrate with us as we open the doors with a can't-miss concert and festival.
And here's something for you this month. It's the Win Your Way drawings on select Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can score $100,000. Plus, coming in May, it's the Hollywood Tribute Concert Series.
Ooh, must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Spring into savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, drive your new Hyundai with payments as low as $94 per month for a 2-year lease. Get spring lease savings on every model from Elantra to Palisade. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit. Payment on 26 Elantra SC, $39.95 down plus tax title first month payment. 7,500 miles per year ends $430.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment is like driving the entire length of a football field blind. Don't let those few seconds distract you from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Miss it, Noonan. Miss it. This is Tee to Green with Skip Mosic on The Fan.
And welcome back, everybody. As you just heard, if you missed any part of today's show, you can download the Tee to Green podcast. Go to 971thefan.com or download any place you find your favorite podcast. We have another great golf prize package to give away this week. We have a round of golf to go play out at the Virtues, balls from Titleist. Plenty of fan goodies we're throwing there for you this week as well. No Twitter or X contest anymore. We'll have details shortly, and maybe this great prize package will be yours.
You are listening to Tee to Greens on the Range.
Joined on the range this week out at Bandon Dunes by PGA professional Bob Sowards from Kinsale. Bob coming off a good week at the Senior PGA Championship at Concession Club, getting set for the PGA Club Professional Championships beginning tomorrow. Bob, congrats on making the weekend at the Senior PGA. What was going well for you last week?
Thanks, Skip, for having me. My short game was all world last week, so I put a new set of irons into play. I wasn't exactly sure how far I was hitting them, unfortunately, so I didn't hit many greens. But I got up and down a lot, so that allowed me to finish decent.
You know, Bob, I always like to ask, it's so cool that you get to play in events like this. Who were you grouped with the first couple of days?
First 2 days, I was paired with Angel Cabrera, who was defending champion, and then Steven Alker, who's one of the top players out there.
You know, I know it's not your first rodeo. You played in a number of majors over the years, plus some time on tour. Are most of the vets welcoming to you?
Yeah, I mean, most of the guys remember me from my days on tour.
Sure.
Well, depending on which tour we played together on, but yeah, once they actually understand you can play a little bit, they're very supportive. Angel, for instance, he was really rooting me on Friday, even though he was playing junk and missed the cut. He was I birdied my 17th hole, and he actually got the ball out of the hole and took my hand for it, so that was pretty cool.
Well, Bob, I know Sunday's final round, you were the first man out. Do they still let you play alone if you want to, or do they make you take a marker to play with you?
Yeah, they don't allow you to play alone anymore because I guess a guy a few years ago played in like an hour and 12 minutes and caught the greens faster. So yeah, I had a marker, a PGA guy from North Florida.
We're chatting with PGA professional Bob Sowards this morning, Tee to Green here on The Fan. And Bob, I know you're out at Bandon Dunes. A PGA Club Professional Championship begins tomorrow. I know it's top 20 and ties that advance to the PGA Championship next month. Do you go into this week with the mindset of winning the golf tournament, or the tourney within the tourney, just focusing on being in the top 20?
Yeah, the top 20, I've always thought that would take care of itself. I go in and try to play the best I can and actually try to win the tournament. My number one goal this year is getting up there in age. I want to qualify for one more PGA Cup team, which is the top 10 from club pros from U.S., which plays Great Britain and Ireland every 2 years. So that's my number one goal. I probably have to finish top 6 or 7 to make that team. But yeah, I'm going in with the mindset of trying to play well every day and win the tournament.
Bob, tell us about the golf courses this week. I mean, have you played Bandon Dunes or Pacific Dunes before? I mean, the pictures have always looked just stunning. Is it comparable to any place else that maybe you've played?
I've never played there. I'll have to tell you after playing Pacific Dunes today and Bandon Dunes tomorrow. And so I got 2 days to learn both golf courses, learn where to hit it, where not to hit it, and so it'll be a lot of study time today.
Well, Bob, as mentioned, you've been doing this for a long time. You're one of the older guys out there competing this week. Do you take any guff or anything from any of the younger dudes?
Some of the guys that know me well, yes. I'll take some junk. So, but it's all in fun. They know I can take it.
Well, Bob, we know you're still teaching out at Kinsale. Coming up, a U.S. Open qualifier at your sister course up in Scioto Reserve later in the spring. Tell everybody about that. I'm sure they're excited to host again.
The golf course is fantastic. It's going to be in great shape. You know, I know last time it was there, I think 71 got through, so it held up pretty well. I think the guys are going to really like the shape that it's in.
Well, in addition to that, Bob, we know the U.S. Senior Open will be at Scioto Country Club later this summer. I'm sure that's on your list to try to qualify as well. Pretty sure you're exempt through the first stage, but have you picked where you'll try to qualify for the final stage?
Yes, I'm exempt through the first stage because I was in the Senior Club Pro or the Senior PGA last year. So I'm going to Miami Valley over in Dayton for final qualifying.
Again, the PGA Club Professional Championship begins tomorrow out at Bandon Dunes. Top 20 and ties next week. Moves on to the PGA Championship in a couple of weeks. Bob Sowards, thanks as always for your time. Play well, okay?
Thanks. I appreciate it, Skip.
Again, Bob, one of a handful of Central Ohio pros playing this week, including Ben Kearns and Chris Muse from Hickory Hills, Jared Jones from Scioto, Danny Sorgini at Blacklick, and Chase Wilson from Columbus Country Club. We wish them all well. All right, let's go ahead and give away this week's Tee to Green Golf prize package right now. A round of golf at the Virtues, balls from Titleist, fan goodies, and more. Caller 9-614-821-9710. Caller 9-614-821-9710. If you or any member of your household have not won in the past 30 days, good luck. Coming up, we'll chat with former Buckeye LPGA professional Jessica Porvasnik, playing this week at the Chevron in Houston. Jessica joins us next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to hit the road with something new from Germain Toyota. Right now, get into a rugged 2026 Toyota Tundra with just 2.99% financing for up to 72 months. Power, performance, and capability ready for every spring adventure. Or cruise into the season with a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for only $299 a month for 36 months and $39.99 due at signing. Fresh deals, fresh rides. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number one, I use it. Number two, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. A seasonal tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. It all adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. He may be short off the tee, but he can sure use his putter. This is Tee to Green with Skip Mosic on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
And welcome back, everybody. As always, thank you for tuning in. Congratulations to Brad out in Plain City. Brad picks up a round of golf at the Virtues, balls from Titleist, fan goodies, and more. We'll have another prize package for you coming up next week. We're joined now for a few minutes by former Buckeye LPGA professional Jessica Porvasnik, playing at the Chevron down in Houston this weekend. She makes the cut on the number at +2, currently sits at +1 on her round today. Jessica, congrats on that. Again, nice playing, though, a week ago out in L.A. I know you didn't close the way you wanted on Sunday, but still a top 20 finish for you. What was working well?
Thank you. Yes, just a lot of things were going well. I drove the ball pretty well, and on those greens out there, they're pretty slopey, so you have to hit it in the right position, and I felt like I gave myself a lot of opportunities to make a lot of putts, so that was kind of key.
Jessica, you've been at this for a while now. You earned your way up through the chase for the card on the Epson Tour. How does it work now, though, in regards to playing status for you this season, and how much does a week like last week help?
Yeah, so last year was actually my rookie year out on LPGA, so the year prior I finished top 10, so you get like full status. I think I got like 15 or 16 starts out on LPGA, and then finished 109, I believe, and so I had conditional status going into this year, so that start this past week will really help my status going forward. There's a reshuffle coming up, so that should really help.
Major championship this week on the ladies' side with the Chevron. I know you've competed in previous majors, but I want to say this is your first Chevron. How excited are you, and what are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, so this week will be like my second major, basically. I played in the U.S. Open in 2014. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm looking forward to a great week.
There are so many really good players on the LPGA Tour. You know, as mentioned, you played your way up through the Epson Tour. For those who don't know, tell them about the quality of play there on the Epson Tour. Where basically everybody's grinding for the same thing.
Yeah, the play, gosh, over the years is just getting better and better in the competition, and women's golf is really growing. So it's cool to see, and it's just a crazy game where, you know, one week you have it, the next you don't. So it's been a lot of fun.
You know, on the men's side, you know, specifically on the Korn Ferry Tour, they typically set those courses up for scoring where players really need to go low. Is it similar, I guess, setup-wise on the Epson Tour?
Yeah, I would say week in and week out on the Epson Tour, pretty gettable. And when you go back second or third time, like you just kind of know what you got to do.
We're chatting with former Buckeye Jessica Porvasnik, tee to green here on The Fan. And Jessica, tell us what the journey's been like for you to reach this stage. I know it couldn't have been easy grinding it out season after season when you finished up here at Ohio State.
Yeah, I've really learned a lot over the past, I graduated in 17, so many years. I've learned just to kind of keep going. You know, you learn from every mistake. So it's grueling out here, but it's a lot of fun, and you just got to keep grinding at it.
You were Big Ten Player of the Year in 14 here at Ohio State, Jessica. Your teams are pretty competitive your whole collegiate career, but was 14 maybe the best season as well? And I guess what was special about that group that year?
Yeah, I would say for my freshman year, definitely lots of good golf and just kind of a great team, great coaches. All 4 years, I really had a lot of great teammates. So it's just a lot of fun, and I look back on those times, and it was just, I enjoyed every second of it.
I know you're from Hinckley. How much attention were you getting in high school? I want to say you won the individual state title there at Highland. Was it always going to be Ohio State for you?
Not really. I narrowed it down to like 3 schools, and then I attended the Ohio State camp, and I think that I took a visit, and I really liked some of the teammates. So I think that really kind of sold it for me, and the coaches were just wonderful.
You know, Jessica, a lot has changed in women's golf over the past few years. How much would you have just loved the opportunity for, you know, the Augusta National Women's Am? You know, unfortunately didn't start until a couple of years after you finished here at Ohio State.
Yeah, it's such a cool opportunity. It's nice to watch the ladies get to play Augusta now. I look back, and that would have been really a cool opportunity.
Well, another cool opportunity this week, major championship down at the Chevron. Former Buckeye LPGA professional Jessica Porvasnik. Jessica, thanks for your time. Keep playing well, okay?
Thank you.
Again, Porvasnik currently at +1 down in Houston. We wish her well this weekend and coming up the rest of the season. That'll put a wrap on this week's show. Our thanks to all of our guests, David Toms, Ron Sirak, and Bob Sowards. If you missed any part of it, simply download the Tee to Green podcast wherever you find your favorites. Busy day ahead here on The Fan. Fan Sports Saturday is next. More NFL draft coverage after that. Then Reds Tigers later this evening. For Nate Puterball, I'm Skip Mosic. Enjoy the golf this weekend. We'll talk to you again next Saturday morning for another edition of Tee to Green right here on The Fan.
in church next Sunday to save me from those double bogey blues.
Common Man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.